Welcome, welcome to a special edition of Wash Your Brain, Make It Make Sense. Got a couple of topics I'm going to expound on, and I'm going to go right on into it. The first topic is anybody, even the President of the United States, above the law? And the question that I'm asking is because a lot of people say that it is unprecedented for the FBI to run down on Trump estate down in Florida. Now, my thing is that it seems to me that most Americans in these political games have been mentally manipulated to the point that they don't realize that if it was them themselves that were charged with the same charges that the former president was or is being charged with or investigated about, that they will have no other choice or opportunity but to be subjected to the process. So, me myself, I think that all criminals, maybe the president, congressman, the lowest person on the street, should go through the process of the judiciary system because it's the law. You know, I done been through the process for what I have done. I didn't do the same thing that allegedly 45th President Donald Trump done, but what he has done is call for investigation, citing a riot at the United States Capitol. If I would have done that, it would be no question about it that I would probably be incarcerated right now or waiting sentencing for the part that I played in that inciting of the riot, what is known as the insurrection of January the 6th, 2021. Moving forward, it's so much hypocrisy. This is woven into the first statement there. Hypocrisy with these political games. It seems like mind control has actually taken out the proper reasoning of Democrats and Republicans and independents, maybe, because people are so united with their political party. Their religious beliefs don't matter. Their morals don't matter. It's only what the party is in favor of. May it be so-called Democrats or Republicans. I see fallacy and criminal activity screaming from both parties. From the top to the bottom, in between the judges, the law enforcement agents, the congressmen, the president. Not just 45, 46, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, so forth and so on. But these political criminals seem to have an agreement within their circle or in their gang. Oh, you can't do this to the president. Oh, you can't do this to the congressperson. Or they get slapped on the wrist and get 6 months to a year, whereas though the citizens that's paying these taxes in the burden bearers are going to get 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, 100 years for the same thing they did. A lot of times that it be coming into fruition and the manifestation, the crimes that they have committed, and then all of a sudden, something crazy happened, like the Jeffrey dude. With people visiting his island, having probably illicit sex from adolescents or children. Got him out the way and don't nobody talking about it no more. A little bit about the Prince, a little bit information swirled around about him, but the political people and the big heads and the corporate people here in the United States that been to that island and it's documented, we ain't hearing nothing about that. And this is the hypocrisy again, how that there's favor for these so-called leaders that has mismanaged the policies and the finances of the United States. And that's why we're in a $91 trillion deficit, 91 trillion, 900 and something billion dollar deficit because of these people that we trust and that we're not holding them accountable. See, once we start holding these people accountable, the ones that come after them going to think twice before committing some of the same crimes. Because what they're doing is getting away with these crimes, then they're telling their political buddies about how they did it, so forth and so on, and they're doing it. And then when the new people come in, they initiate them into this syndicate, this crime family. But you know what? The people are allowing it, and they're going to continue on doing it. It's the same old junk, same old flea flicker. Okay? Now I'll speak on something that it bothers my mind, and it's kind of like on both sides of the spectrum, dealing with political views or different, even with ethnic or racial views. We got the replacement theory, who Tucker Carlson or Channel 5, Fox News advocate all the time, or have been in the past. Now he's entwined with Alex Jones. He's trying to, get his way out of that. He's saying that there are people that's trying to replace so-called Caucasian, so-called white Americans. And what he's talking about is the people that's coming from different countries, immigrants, he say. He didn't say anything about so-called blacks, but we know that, from his white nationalist perspective, he's also is speaking about so-called blacks. He was a straight-up hater against the BLM movement, even the technical part of it. I'm not with that movement as far as what transpired with the finances and things of that nature, but the overall concept of it, it made sense to me. I also believe that all lives matter. Will anybody say, my life matter, your life matter, our lives matter? That's my concept. Okay? So critical race theory has been ousted out of the schooling system, or is being demonized, because people want to tell the truth about what Americans done, the so-called founding fathers and their predecessors. And they say, well, the children are being psychologically, confused and messed up and starting to dislike themselves. And that's the only reason that is because you lied to them off the buck. If you would have told your children the truth, so-called critical race theory wouldn't be such a shock. But they have been living in this fairy tale, in this land of make-believe that you have created with your words and your lies. And now when the truth comes, you want to fight it. You want to say, oh man, this is reverse racism. Now, reverse racism, you don't have the slightest idea what that is. See what I'm saying? I'm not going to go into that, but moving forward, we got critical race theory versus the replacement theory. What is the difference? Both of these are a form of thought that is being put out there to present a particular case. One is being demonized by the so-called white nationalists, and one is being advocated by so-called blacks that believe that the truth needs to be told regardless. Okay, I have to put this in there real quick. Pamela Moses, convicted, sentenced to 6 years for voter fraud. And then we had Crystal Mason, Pamela Moses from Tennessee, Crystal Mason from Texas. She got convicted for 5 years for voter fraud. But we have in the same breath so-called whites, Europeans, white Americans, men that have been convicted and got a voter fraud. You can check the records, and got probation. Why was this attack on these so-called black women and their particular party of choice? Because you can see the connection. Two black women, possibly both Democrats. Possibly. I don't know their preference in this wicked political system. I think that we need to unplug from politics, the politicians and the modern day magicians, and stand on love and truth. And if we stand on love and truth, the playing field is level. Nobody is above the law, not even you, Donald J. Trump. Peace, love, and goodwill to all humanity.